This is You've Already Been Hacked, recorded on
21 August 2026.
Welcome back to You've Already Been Hacked. This week, well, the professor has something that's hit a little close to home, and I might get on my soapbox when we start talking about it. But before we get there, Snakes on a Plane, Cowboy, how you doing?
Yes. We had a delay in recording because there was a baby snake terrorizing the digital spouse in the house.
Never good.
Had to go take care of that. But had an interesting week. I was at a conference for a couple days, which is plus and minus, but came out with two really good prospects for selling work, which in our business is always good.
That's always good.
But what I care about more is the chance to continue to educate and improve, our DoD comrades in any way, shape, or form. So that's what it's all about for me. So I'm excited for that. And as always, this is my favorite part of the week.
Well, it's
recording our show.
That warms my heart. I appreciate that. It's a pretty good part of my week. Just getting the chance to chat with a friend on a topic we both have way too much time in on is never a bad thing. So yes. Let's get into our top story.
Wait, I look forward, though. I'm going to shove the box under you, so you don't have to do any of that work.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ready.
All right, here we go. All right, in our top story, CareCloud confirms 3.75 million patient records. Medical records have been stolen 5 months after they were hacked. CareCloud, a publicly traded U.S. healthcare IT company providing electronic health records, medical billing, practice management, and revenue cycle services, disclosed this week that a breach it suffered in March affected 3,756,469 individuals, according to a report filed with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. The incident marks the fifth largest theft of U.S. health data in the United States this year. CareCloud first disclosed the incident in March via an SEC filing, which noted an 8-hour network disruption on its platform and loss of access to one of its databases. Breach notifications began going out on the 25th of July, and the full scale was only confirmed in an HHS breach report released this week. As of this writing, no ransomware group or extortion gang has claimed responsibility. Let's see. The notification that CareCloud put out states that between the 10th of March and the 16th of March of this year, an unauthorized third party accessed one of the company's AWS cloud environments and exfiltrated data from databases within that environment. The initial intrusion caused an 8-hour network disruption, specifically targeting CareCloud's health division, consistent with disruptive activity alongside the data theft. The company launched an investigation in March to determine the scope. The HHS report confirms the number of affected individuals was that 3.7 million. Through the same notification letter shared with authorities, it confirms only full names and does not specify the full data set. Press reporting has indicated, though, that stolen medical records and personal information were taken. Affected individuals are being offered, as always, 12 or 24 months of identity protection through IDX, which is redeemable until the 17th of December of 2026. Notably, CareCloud does not have a direct relationship with its affected patients. They are the patients of the small and mid-sized medical practices that use CareCloud's platform, meaning most victims will hear about this breach for the first time in a notification letter. Well, what can or should you be doing if you're an organization that could have been impacted by this? Well, if you use CareCloud as your EHR billing platform, confirm notification statuses with the vendor and brief your front office before patients start calling. Block and monitor for phishing emails referencing the CareCloud breach. There could be a lot of impersonation that starts to happen now that it's out in the wild. Offer affected patients the IDX identity protection enrollment, which is only valid through as I said, the 17th of December of this year, and guidance on spotting medical identity theft on your explanation of benefits that come in. Audit your other healthcare vendor dependencies for the same concentration risk. One breach vendor can hold your patient's entire records. It's not bad, but only the fifth largest this year, Cowboy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the, what, 18 million citizens impacted in Poland like we reported last week, but I mean, th- we don't have, there's not a lot of information out yet, right? We do know that the hackers allegedly exfiltrated data from their Amazon Web Services account. Um, you had all kinds of PII, Social Security, medical health records,
Right.
and government issued ID, passports, driver's licenses, bank and financial information. What really, there's two things that really irk me, that really grind my gears for those that watch Family
Grind
Guy.
my gears.
um, is one, how long it took for them to disclose the level of, maybe they didn't know, but there was, it reads like there was no communication between the initial notification in March and what just came out. And
Interesting.
I just think that's unsatisfactory from their aspect. Secondly, it irks me that they know they're covering the small and medium businesses, small and medium, health businesses that, don't have the money or size to do this. So they rely on supply chain, third party, right, to keep their customers' stuff safe. So, I hate the whole like, oh, we'll give you 2 years of identity theft from some random pick your identity theft site, right? Like, thanks, it's too late.
I have identity theft probably
you
for the
know,
rest of my life at this point, honestly.
right, exactly. Like, cool, thanks. But honestly, I hope um, they do something to make amends for the businesses that were impacted, by this breach, because they're a trusted agency to protect this information. Not to mention the potential for lawsuits because of the laws in place of how to make sure you adequately protect this type of information. So, don't know, but kind of bothers me they went so long between March and August to get information out. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's not right.
It's,
And I
yeah.
mean, I guess the only saving grace is that nobody has come forward with this. Maybe, like,
Oh yeah, that's interesting, right? That's. I wonder what's going on behind the scenes there.
yeah. I wonder what's
You
going
know,
on behind the scenes there.
was this a trial run? Was it an exercise kind of thing?
I mean, once you have medical records, I mean, when we talked about the Poland incident, there were already solicitations against politicians that had their records stolen, right? So I'm wondering if they're looking. I wonder if it was a fishing expedition to find somebody's health record.
Yeah,
I don't know.
see who they get. Maybe they're just selling it on the black market,
Yeah, yeah, it could be any of that, right?
the deep web.
All right, here. Where's my soapbox, Cowboy? You gonna prop
All
me
right,
up?
here we go.
In our next
There it
story,
is.
University of San Antonio hit by a weekend cyber attack. Classes for 42,000 students have been delayed a week. UTSA was hit by a cyber attack over the weekend of August 16th and 17th, so just happened last weekend, forcing the school to shut down its .edu systems and delay the start of its fall semester from Wednesday the 19th of August to August 24th. The attack affecting roughly 42,000 students knocked out registration, payment processing, university phone systems, and library research services. UTSA's COO and CTO said the activity was detected at the edge of our network before it reached core systems. I don't know, payment processing, registration, maybe not core, I don't know. And the university is requiring all students, faculty, and staff to reset their passwords and restore services. The university says it has found no evidence of data exfiltration so far, but the investigation remains open. And Texas Cyber Command has confirmed the incident involved a data breach. The fall semester payment deadline was extended to the 21st of August. The time that would be today, the day we're recording this podcast. The timing is exactly what ransomware operators prefer. The university was operating at maximum back-to-school capacity when the disruption hit. This comes just months after the Shiny Hunters breach of the Canvas e-learning platform this spring, which paid $15 million in ransom and forced schools nationwide to cancel exams. Ransomware attacks on higher education rose more than 8% year over year in quarter one of 2026. This matters because universities are ransomware favorites and disruptive targets because of a 5-day delay at the university level carries enormous social and administrative pressure. Leverage without confirmed data theft is also a problem. Detected at the edge, quote unquote, is not contained. Edge detection before core systems is common in both blocked attacks and attacks that later exfiltrate data quietly. The sector trend is something that we've confirmed on this show multiple times. Higher education ransomware is up, as I said. The Canvas breach earlier this year, which we also talked about, proved that centralized e-tech platforms multiply the blast radius of those who are affected. What should you do if you are in this or someone that could be affected by this potential breach? If you operate a higher ed or similar time-sensitive public service, pressure test your incident response plan against a week one of semester scenario and keep your registration and payments alive during containment. Review network edge controls, your proxies, your firewalls, your DNS filtering, your telemetry at the edge, since that's where UTSA's attack was first seen. Segment student-facing systems off from your research and administrative networks. And if you're a UTSA student, staff, or faculty member, or a Texas Cyber Command employee, because they ride on UTSA systems right now, treat anything, any payment deadline extension or class schedule change, an email, whatever, as a phishing attempt until verified through official channels, and reset your passwords as required. And here is my soapbox. TJ, if you're listening, utmost respect for you. I saw what you recently said in front of the legislative session. That was great. I agree wholeheartedly that the best event in a cyber event is one that is not successful. If I was the deputy director of Texas Cyber Command, maybe UTSA wouldn't have had this problem in the first place, because this would have been one of the things that I would have cornerstoned immediately upon my tenure, if that was a position I would have had the opportunity to fill, TJ. Just saying. I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to get too angry, I promise, because I actually hope that they are doing everything they can right now, and I really applaud the existence of TCC and wish them the best of luck without me. Cowboy?
Yes. We have some, I'll call it intimacy with UTSA. For those that follow us on some work-related social media, they'll know that we have done multiple cyber capture the flag events for their students, and maybe they should bring some of those students in, because they have some really, really smart students participating in that coming through. Maybe they could help. I don't know. But as always, it's, when you disrupt the kids' ability to learn, right? The kids' ability to pay, the stress these students must be feeling right now is terrible. And as I've said, when you hit kids, right, even though these are 18 to 24-year-olds or whatever, still, they're in college, they're still kids, right? It pisses me off too.
Well,
apparently the reset is part of the school's recovery process,
which is fine. I'm all for it. That's great. But it's not just the students, and it's not just the faculty. It's the families that are impacted too, right?
Sure.
Because whose payment information is most likely the one that's funding those students? I'm sure some of them are paying their own way. Congratulations if you can, especially in this current economy. But it's most likely families. Their information could now be potentially exposed. That's what I mean when I say the blast radius, right? It's not just the immediate impact.
Right, and students were posting on social media like, hey, I got to go to the bookstore. I can't use financial assistance because the EDU's down. I can't check syllabuses. Right, they are at a standstill. Even the phones aren't working. Even the phones are offline. So I can't imagine the stress that they're going through of like I've got to start class and I can't like do anything and it's days away. Even with the extension, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
now it's gonna be it's back up, get it done right away, right? And just whoever did this, like just I hope you stub your
so
pinky
here's
toe
the
on the
thing, right?
concrete
Okay,
table.
here's what I really think. And as much as I might have a little bit of a knife that I'm a little sore with TCC, Texas Cyber Command. My visceral response is, since Texas Cyber Command rides UTSA systems, this is public. I'm not saying anything that anybody couldn't find out because it was all out there. They are gracious. They are tenants of UTSA at the time being. How do we know that the attack on UTSA systems going against these forward-facing edge systems is not a play to get in to pivot towards TCC?
Uh, very, I mean, betting man, right? Vegas odds.
I mean, maybe,
Sure.
I think maybe better than Vegas odds.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm on the evil side and doing the dark web stuff, but if I was, I would go after a soft underbelly to get to my target,
Always.
right? So,
Yeah. The weakest link to
I
get
ho-
me in, and I pivot into the good stuff.
yeah, so TJ, I hope your stuff's hardened, buddy, because this could be, I'm not saying it is, I have no evidence, I have no suggestion, I haven't talked to TJ in a while. This could be an attack to get to them. I would not put it past an attacker to do that, because why not? Why not see if I can get into UTSA systems and see if I can fish around and pivot until I can find Texas Cyber Command and then really get to what I want to get to? That's what I would do. Or at least that's where I would make my first attempt. So, okay, I'm trying to get off the soap. I'm trying. It's hard.
It's penetration testing 101, right?
Yeah.
You find the easy door in and pivot to the hardened target on the back end.
Yes. Absolutely.
101.
Okay. All right. I
All
think
right. Deep breath.
Yeah, deep breath. We're okay. We're going to move on from that. It was just a little, so just a raw nerve. Okay, in our next story, fake crypto conference lures security researchers into malware via rigged Google Docs. Oh, it's our friends at Huntress. Security firm Huntress published details of and again, Cowboy and I know a couple, more than a couple people, but definitely one rather senior, I'll just go with that without any specifics, person at Huntress. We are not
Good
sponsored.
looking.
Well, that's debatable. We are not sponsored by them. We literally do know individuals there and that we have some good respect for. So that's why we call them out when stories with them come up. Security firm Huntress published details of a targeted campaign that hit cybersecurity professionals right after Black Hat and DEF CON this year, in which a hacker impersonating the VP and head of marketing at a leading cryptocurrency news site, posting from the X account at, it was called at Hartman's Doki, I think I said that right, reached out to researchers via public replies and direct messages about a quote, unquote, upcoming conference. The bait was a legitimate Google Doc that appeared to be a conference planning document with a fake encryption sidebar built using Google Apps scripts. The targets were first tricked into entering fake decryption keys supplied by the hacker, the first step of the chain that installed different payloads per OS, an info stealer for macOS, a remote desktop tool repurposed as malware for Windows, and a fake installer for the Ledger cryptocurrency wallet. Huntress's own researcher played along to map the full chain before reporting it. What made the campaign convincing was the abuse of a trusted, legitimate platform, such as Google Docs, Allure, which was the crypto conference, and a real professional relevance to the target. The actor behind the account did not respond to TechCrunch's attempt to reach them. This matters because security researchers remain a prime target. Compromising one researcher exposes their employer's internal toolings, access, threat intelligence, and whoever else they may know. The Google Doc plus AppScript encrypted document trick is a new social engineering pattern that defeats the verify the sender reflex because the artifact itself looks legitimate. The fake Ledger wallet, which is a cryptocurrency wallet, installer signals the end goal, which was crypto asset theft, from exactly the professionals who should know better. What can or should you be doing about this? Well, verify any conference event or media outreach through a second known channel, the person's real handle, a direct call, an email on the organization's verified domain before opening any attached or shared document. Treat encrypted document here is the key flow as a hostile by default legitimate problem. Legitimate encrypted sharing never requires the recipient to type a key the sender typed for them. I would say that's probably true 99.9% of the time. Audit your Google Workspace admin console for docs with AppScript sidebars you don't recognize and alert on drive sharing of documents with custom script UIs. And if you attended Black Hat or DEF CON or similar events, assume your presence is being targeted and expect follow-on DMs for at least 2 weeks. Not everybody that goes, but if you're one of the people that might be of interest, you always want to be careful. Cowboy?
Yes, I just want to go on record and say that this was not the conference I was at this week. So
Yes, it was somewhere else.
I was not at the fake crypto conference, but take a minute to, as I do, appreciate this is some good trade craft. Like if you can trick the people that do this for a living and know better into doing it, that's good tradecraft, right? So hats off for the good tradecraft. Man, to do some, whether it's whaling or whale fishing or spear fishing, it's kind of, I think it's a weird gray area here, but either way, like that is I'll just say good tradecraft for people that know better, right? But we're there when you're an offensive type person, the better you can disguise these things to look legitimate, right? People, especially in our career field, we're busy. That's why we like this career field. It's job security. It's busy.
Yep.
It's changing.
Yep.
But so it's easy to give it a quick scan. And you know what I mean? You're sitting on the plane going back, you're reading emails, you're seeing this thing. Oh, that sounds like a cool conference. Like click, 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 boom. That's it. That's all it takes, right? That's why this is such a prevalent thing, because it just takes a few clicks, and it's game over. And so, yeah, I mean, again, hats off to Huntress because they saw it and did what I'm assuming was some type of honeypot exercise.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Right, to identify it and then work through in order to map out the cyber kill chain, if you will, of what the attacker was doing and how and everything else. And so, unidentified person that we know there who does listen to us, hats off to your team. Yep. I hope you recognize them for that, because that's just fantastic work on the back end.
Absolutely, very good work. The fact that they were astute enough to pay attention, got involved, knowing what they were doing, it's all aces. I'm a foot stomp. Our community should know better. So a little disappointed that a lot of people fell for that. All right, in our next story, camera swarm. Over 14,000 IP cameras hijacked in a 35-day campaign with factory reset-proof backdoors. Hunt.io disclosed that Camera Swarm, a 35-day campaign, which ran from June 17th to July 22nd of this year, compromised more than 14,530 Dahua. Did I say that right, Cowboy? I think I did. Dahua IP cameras, mostly, here we go, in Ukraine and Russia, using 3 parallel techniques. First, a brute forcing scanner on TCP port 37777 compromised devices at over 12,000 unique IP addresses, capturing camera snapshots, reporting to Telegram, and exposing results into Duha's Smart PSS platform. Second, a tool called P2Pwn exploited CVE 2021-33044 and CVE 2021-33045. Both 2-year-old authentication bypass flaws still in CISA's KEV catalog. Installing a persistent backdoor, which was P2Pwn or P2Password, on over 1,900 cameras. The account survives password changes, and on most firmware versions survives factory resets. Third, a cloud relay technique reached 283 cameras behind a NAT using only serial numbers plus SDK credentials embedded in Duha's own applications. 89.4% of live serial numbers exposed an unauthenticated access channel, and the toolkit derived valid offline recovery codes directly from camera serial numbers. Hunt.io discovered the operation after the operator left a working directory unprotected on an HTTP server, exposing 400 megabytes across 2,600 files of source code, logs, credentials, and captured camera images. Hunt.io notified national certs and Duha's PSIRT on the 10th of August. Cameras reachable on port 37777 between June and July should be treated as compromised. Removing the backdoor account does not invalidate the derived recovery codes until Duha changes those derived codes from the server side. This matters because the server number derived recovery code is a design flaw in Duha's cloud recovery flow, a password reset that the attacker can self-service, which defeats a standard remediation playbook. The backdoor also survives factory resets, which means the default wipe and reimage response for cameras is useless, and 14,000 plus cameras in a 35-day window is a botnet scale level of infrastructure. The end use is almost certainly for DDoSing, spying, or resale, and the operator's toolkit is now publicly documented. What should you be doing right now? Well, you should inventory if you have any of these Duha cameras in your infrastructure and check for the P2Pwn or the P2Password accounts. And if your camera's on 37777 and they were within that time period, treat them as compromised. There is a firmware update that you should apply, which is firmware SA 2021-0130, to fix both those CVEs. Note that removing the backdoor does not invalidate the attacker's derived recovery codes. So you might close the vulnerability, but they may still have a recovery code that they could use. Disable the P2P remote access feature on Duha devices that do not need it, and block outbound access to Duha cloud endpoints where feasible, and never expose the Duha admin interface over port 37777 to the internet. Change your default credentials and use strong unique passwords per device. Cowboy, are you voyeuring?
The Internet of Things. Yeah, I try not to order, things made from major Chinese publicly traded IT companies, which is Zhejiang Dua, who makes these cameras. It's interesting to see that it's very telling that they're all in that almost all in Ukraine and Russia, and they were affecting cameras in both Ukraine and Russia, which I found interesting. And as of now, the community does not have an intent or final objective behind this. So maybe we'll get to talk about this on a future show.
Yeah, it
You
tends
know,
to come around, right? So it
it
probably
does.
will.
Now, on the upswing, both those CVEs carried a 9.8 CVSS score.
It's right where you like it to
So,
be.
right where I like it to be. That's right in the sweet spot, right? Because you're getting unauthenticated full admin access
Yeah.
simply by sending some crafted packets in other ways that you talked about. So, um, you know, uh, my spidey senses kicked up. Like, this doesn't feel and it doesn't read like cybercrime.
Nation
This
state?
feels a little nation state
Yeah.
espionage.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
it's that we also like, for reasons we don't talk a lot about on the
Right,
show.
right.
But the Spidey senses are going, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Um, and I'm not surprised that they haven't sent out any remote patches or anything for these CVEs, because I don't think most companies in China, just saying it, I don't think they really care
I
to
agree.
fix them. So just hopefully, if if there are good people being affected by this, let's leave it at that. Hopefully, you see that this is happening and you can take some sort of corrected action. Um, just get rid of the cameras and replace them with something a little bit more trusted. You know, um,
If there if an IoT device can be in the first place.
right? Yeah, as much as possible.
Yeah, as much as
But
possible is probably the best way to say it.
at a minimum, do the research to get in there and change defaults. Right,
Yeah.
like that's step one. Change defaults. Get after it. If you're a poor citizen from either country, I mean, you're probably not going to. But if you're anything else, get in and change the defaults. There's enough information about how they're communicating and how they're being taken advantage of that you can get in and fix it even without a patch from the company itself,
Yep.
or mitigate it as much as possible. So it was interesting that the information exfiltrated and where the scans were coming from were a lot of Mexican and Vietnamese ISP ranges.
That to me
Which,
reads as pivot points, quite honestly, but
yeah,
that's as far as I'll go with that.
right, that is tradecraft. Multiple country pivot hop and run it
Yeah.
out of there. I would go on record and say, if I was a bet man, Vegas odds again, not Mexican or
No,
Vietnamese perpetrators, right?
not at all.
Pretty seems pretty obvious. So, um, reminds me of the Mirai virus, right? The Mirai malware that was taking
Yeah.
advantage of IoT devices like baby cameras and other stuff through this kind of same thing. Either this one was a little more sophisticated. It was a bunch of CVEs with unauthorized backdoors and stuff, but where Mirai took advantage of default admin logins, but same. I think, right? In
Well,
this
I
case,
mean, this was taking advantage of 2-year-old CVEs.
yeah,
This stuff has been
and
out there for a
and
while.
15,000 cameras. Like
Yeah,
it's a lot.
that's a lot of cameras.
Cost of doing business.
Well, it will be now for sure for whoever's owning those 15,000 cameras. In our last story, for our gamers, a fake quote unquote leaked GTA 6 build floods piracy sites. Every download is malware. After a leaker known as CyberLeak began posting alleged GTA 6 gameplay footage earlier this week, piracy and torrent sites were inundated with fake download links claiming to be playable builds of the game. No such build exists, and every one of those downloads is malware. Security researchers at NordVPN report the fake build lures have been circulating for months, but surged with the leak impersonating accounts, AI-generated fake leak videos, and credential harvesting pages built to catch fans hunting the footage. NordVPN CTO Marjus Berdis, and I apologize if I mispronounced your name, quote, every time GTA 6 makes headlines, leaked footage spreads through re-uploads, Discord links, and unofficial mirrors, which is exactly the environment where fake leaked downloads and credential harvesting pages thrive, unquote. The situation is unique in that the leaker appears to actually possess a working build. In one leaked video, in-game bullets spell out the leaker's name, and Rockstar's official extended gameplay look is actually scheduled just for next week on Netflix before its November 19th release. There is precedent for real build leaks. There was one in 2023 for Wolverine, which has just been released recently, but no indication one of the GTA 6 leaks that have been shown is genuine. This matters because hype-driven malware lures convert gaming enthusiasts into info-stealer and crypto wallet infections at scale. Gamers remain one of the most click-prone demographic targets. I am a gamer, and I'm not click prone, but I know many that are.
Yeah,
AI AI generated fake leaked content makes it impossible to judge authenticity from the media alone. Only the source can be trusted. Ain't that the truth these days? This is the template for every major product launch and leak cycle. Mirror the event, weaponize the search demand. And what you should be doing right now, if you're a gamer or someone know a gamer or an employee gamer, you might want to brief them on the no playable GTA 6 build exists anywhere, and any download claiming to be one right now is almost certainly malware. Ensure download scanning and browser protection are active on gaming machines, and keep the OS and game platforms as up to date as possible. For organizations, block known piracy and torrent mirroring domains and credential harvesting lookalike pages at the proxy, and add quote unquote GTA 6 leak style lures to your phishing awareness program. And finally, wait for the official announcement on Netflix on the 27th and have a look at that extended look. And then just wait until November 19th if you really want this game. Treat everything else about it hostile. It is Grand Theft Auto. The game itself is hostile. Just act like you're in the game until the 19th and you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Cowboy?
Hey, another shout out to Good Tradecraft. And I agree. We should try harder to talk about more gaming stuff. I'm sure it's out there. But for those that don't read the notes, Cyber Leak is Cyber Leek, which made me giggle because Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was one of my favorite books. And it made me think of the second one where they go, "There's a leak in the boat." Ah! Right. It's the vegetable leak. So that made me laugh. Anyway, Cyber
Nice.
Leak actually published an edit, a manifesto demanding publishers stop digital pre-orders, fake single-player download content, and the elimination of physical media. And it's tied to the volatile Solana-based meme coins used in the community voting to dictate upcoming content releases and other stuff. If you're not familiar with Solana-based meme coins, they have things like Bonk, Dog Whiff Hat, Pop
Wow.
Cat, and Cat in a Dog's World, to name some of
Wow.
the top ones. Yes. And it is an anonymous person, so CyberLeak is not tied to a person or group of folks currently. So interested to see how that turns out, because as we all know, um, uh, tying groups to actual people is very, very difficult.
Nobody
So
knows you're a
that,
dog on the internet. And now with AI, no one knows if that dog is even a dog. It could be a cat.
that's right. Unless you're a lawyer, and then you're a cat for sure. But if you don't know that, go look at that video. Lawyer is not a cat. But the fact that they have an actual version of the playable game kind of narrows that down. Maybe,
It
right?
it
Like
looks like it could be, but you don't. It could be a very highly modified GTA 5. We don't know. We really don't know.
we don't know, but that is definitely a indicator, if you will, right? To that is a thread to pull on that
Oh,
I'm
for sure.
sure people are looking at. So I did find it I did find it interesting with their published manifesto demanding some of these things, because a couple years ago, it's probably longer than that now, it's probably 10 or 12 years ago, right? The gamers started kind of rising up, and they were sick of of being nickel and dimed,
Yeah.
right? They were sick of getting this laissez-faire vanilla game for $60, and then they had to pay another $300 to get all the downloadable content, all the extra crap, and they were like, enough's enough, right? And it's gone away somewhat, but it's still around in a large fashion.
Oh, it's
And
getting worse. Didn't you hear what
people,
PlayStation is doing? What Sony's doing? They're
I did
they're
not.
stopping they're stopping Blu-ray disc production for games in 2028. Digital only.
Mm,
That's gonna go over like a lead balloon, I think. But I think
yeah.
people are still gonna pay for it because gotta have my PlayStation, right? I mean,
Well,
it's a big
well,
thing in the gaming community right now. It's causing a lot of churn that this is gonna really hurt game preservation and competition and all that sort of stuff. Right now, the only player that's really still doing physical media is Nintendo, and they're doing like
okay.
it's halfway, right? Because half the games they're putting out right now are key cards. They're not even full game on cartridge. So Yeah,
that makes CyberLeak happy because they want the elimination of physical media.
they do.
But
Well,
that is, yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I didn't know that, and I feel conflicted. I'll have to think on that a little bit with some of my couple brain cells that are left. But yeah, I mean, again, good tradecraft attacking a well known, I would say well loved. A lot of people play GTA. That's why there's so many of them,
yeah.
and taking advantage of the zealous gamers who want it now, and are gonna click, which should be obviously fake, but their want for the game, right, overrides whatever sense of um, uh, smarts or security they have, and they get it. So I do like this tradecraft,
Yeah.
but everyone else stop.
Yeah, just wait for the game. Wait for
Just
the
wait for
you're
it to
good.
come out.
It's gonna
Come
be
on.
okay. You can wait. You've waited a decade already. You can wait a couple more months for GTA 6.
It is 3 more months, almost to the day.
Yes.
Right. So,
All right, Cowboy, what else you got for us?
it is. I was trying to. Yeah. So, let's see. Actually, I'll bring this up in our next week's podcast because August 29th, is our Terminator Judgment Day.
Oh, that's
date.
right.
So
Yeah.
it is coming up. But I think we should do something special next week for that. But my parting shot, as always, CareCloud proves that sometimes the longest wait in healthcare isn't for an appointment; it's for finding out your data was stolen 5 months ago. I'm Cyber Cowboy. Stay frosty, everybody.
And I'm the professor of CyberRisk. That's all the news for this week, and we'll talk again soon. If you like this podcast, share it with your colleagues and friends. Your support is how we are able to continue to make this content. Thank you.